Starbursts are really good. Want one?
Maybe. But Happy New Year. Happy freaking frackin' New Year.
Take your cup.
Cheers. Yes.
I'm gonna put that over there.
Oh, new year, new intentions. I won't say new me because, I have my little antennas on. I forgot.
So I will say this morning I made bomb breakfast burritos.
Did you?
But I did. There was a lot of people running.
Like outside?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. People trying
More
to
than I
stick
do.
to those. I set some New Year's goals. Yeah, we'll see if I make any this year. But
What are they?
uh,
Not drinking.
yeah, drink less.
Less is good.
Cheers.
Less is good.
This is Hard Talks with a Blonde and a Hippie. I'm your trippy hippie, Alicia, jumping on the mic from good old Utah, joined with my favorite blonde, who's no longer blonde,
I'm like blonde at heart.
Sarah. Yes.
I'm a blonde at heart.
We curse like sailors, don't want to be responsible for your sweet innocence children saying fucker, goddamn. All the innocence just,
All your innocence just goes away.
But if you're like us and you're biting off more than you can chew on a consistent basis, tune in. If you like what we're doing, you can go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts and leave us a review. We want to hear from you. How'd your holidays go? And what do you think of that Allie Holt episode? That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I was really sick that week.
Yes. Sarah's been sick like all month.
So I think the month was because I had a sinus infection. You could hear it in my voice. But I sound a lot better now. I was just really cold. So now I'm like draining. But I'm on an antibiotic.
I'm draining.
So that's good. And then Wednesday night, I was like, dude, I got the worst stomach cramps. I'm like, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
But
And
I
then
didn't.
My sister-in-law said the same thing. I was like, girl, what did we eat? And she's like, I don't know. Thursday night, every 2 hours, all night, she's like, are you dying? I'm like, I feel like it. I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sorry you were sick, but I mean,
It was horrible, but it was nice at the same time because we didn't have to go anywhere.
it was a nice little podcasting break too. You know,
Yeah,
got to
sorry.
be with our
My
family.
God.
Don't be sorry.
I mean, like, but it
got
was
to
like
be
the
with family.
holidays too.
We
so.
had Christmas. We had the week between Christmas and New Year's, which we'll talk about, and then
That's a shit show.
New Year's. So we have a
And
lot
then
to
Chase's
catch up on.
birthday.
Chase's birthday.
Yeah. So.
Happy birthday, you filthy animal. Cheers to you. Yeah, so you being the Grinch of the show, the non-lover of gifts, what'd you end up doing on Christmas?
So I felt really bad because my plan was I slept all day Friday. Like I was just like, I walked downstairs. I'm like, I'm going to eat a little something. I ate half a hash brown. I'm like, I think I'm just going to go lay down for a minute. I walked up the stairs and I was like, I threw up everywhere.
Oh, no.
It was great. I was like, did I get like motion sickness walking up the stairs? I felt bad.
You know what else that sounds like?
I haven't since then. It was just Thursday.
Oh, wow.
It was a straight up flu because my sister got it on Monday. My grandma had it 2 days before.
It's not a little bean in your belly?
No,
Okay.
because
She's like, no.
My nephews had it the week before. One nephew had diarrhea when we seen him. Then my
we love that.
sister-in-law was sick on Friday driving home. My mom got sick the day before. So she was sick on Wednesday. I got sick on Thursday. My grandma was sick on Friday.
So everyone
Kylie got sick
got it.
on Monday. I was like,
That's a shitty
I'm like,
Christmas.
babe, stay away from me. And he's
Literally.
like, yeah, I'm staying away from me. And then Caroline got sick on Saturday.
Poor baby's been sick like all winter.
Girl, I swear that baby, I don't know what it is, but she was sick last November. She had an ear infection last November too, before she was one.
Damn.
Whoa, someone is calling you up. I thought you put it on Do Not Disturb, bitch. We we all got sick. And I felt bad for my sister-in-law because they had to drive home to St. George on Friday. And she was so nauseous. But I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm eating my Starburst. I didn't get all pink. I just got all the reds. And they're pretty good. This one is fruit punch. You got strawberry, watermelon, and cherry. These are pretty good.
Where did you get those from?
Target. Me and Taste were
I was like, did they like come out of thin air or
yeah,
what?
they came in my pocket. No, but we didn't want to be home anymore yesterday, so we went to Walmart to buy groceries. Jay's like, well, I don't want to go home yet. He's like, want to go to Target? I'm like, I don't want to go to Target.
He's like so stir crazy. He's like, let's go to the store.
I know. So I went to Target and I'm like, you know, like the little dollar section they have? They had a really cute, like, like Valentine's Day thing. And I was like, oh, this is cute.
New Year extra slurps.
I know, my candy. I needed candy for it. And I was like, I bought candy that I don't want to eat. It was more for show.
You ever hear yourself like chew or like eat or like anything basically, and you like make it a sexual thing? You're like, I really hope I don't sound like that during intercourse. That's just a passing thought in my mind. Sorry, I was thinking about it while you were slurping.
I could see it because like in some books you read, they're like, they were slurping on my dick, and you're like, you had to like think about it in your mind. You're like,
oh my
how
God.
does that work exactly?
So you got out of family because you were sick.
I was sick on Thursday, but then I was just like, I can be sick.
I can be sick.
It was great because I was like, I already knew I was sick, so I was like, me and the baby don't feel good. But we could have went, but I was like, nah.
Well, did you guys do anything at home? That's kind of an anticlimactic Christmas.
I know. So I had it all in my head. I was gonna wrap everything because my brother was in town. Mm-hmm. I had to work all day Wednesday. So I was like, well, I got Thursday. My brother was in town, so I'm like, I got Friday after work. I can just wrap everything and I'll be good. No, nothing got wrapped. And I was like, babe, don't forget. I'm like, you have to put everything out. I'm like, don't forget. This is all, and I felt bad.
Why? Because it was on him?
Well, that and everything. And I didn't get stocking stuffers.
He's probably like, damn, like, it takes a lot of work
there was like three
to produce
things.
a Christmas.
Yeah, 3 things were under the tree and nothing was wrapped.
Hey, Caroline.
But she didn't like.
She doesn't need to unwrap anything.
Well, like the thing is, like his dad was like, "You're not coming over. You're sick." I'm like, "That's fine." Because like last time,
you're like, "Thank you."
Because
Jesus.
the last time we went over Thanksgiving when we were sick, we got the whole family sick. And he is like that major man cold man. Where it's like he gets it and he's like out
I'm
for
dying.
like yeah, basically.
I'm not gonna make it.
He lives on Dayquil and NyQuil.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how some people can just throw that back? And I'm
I
like,
know.
I pour like the recommended amount, and it's like shrill going down. Did you see my spit as that came out? I shiver.
No, I don't take it because nursing and it has alcohol in it, so I take the alcohol-free stuff. But I'm like, and my stomach was upset. She's like, take Pepto-Bismol. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
that just makes me want to throw up.
We're recording this on January 2nd.
Second.
And I was like, Sarah, I've been saving like half a bottle of champagne for our recording because we were supposed to record a couple times before this. But my Christmas chronicles were a little more
I mean, I was just sick. That was
crazy.
Great. Chase was fine.
I know.
So, yeah, that was our Christmas.
So I was like, yeah, we got champagne. And she's like, oh, God. And I'm like, well, it's a New Year, bitch. So
I mean,
you can
who drinks,
sip it.
Who drinks like legit just champagne?
You're
straight?
classy, sophisticated
like just
people.
the smell of it. You're just like,
okay, you gotta cheers
what
me.
kind
You
of
don't leave me hanging.
What kind
it's
of
$7 cook champagne.
And that's another. They drink like high end good champagne, not this like.
Cooks is the best brand out there. We've talked about this. If I become rich, if we make it one day. We are still going to get Cooks Yes, it's like the apple cider. It's just a little more bitter.
Oh, speaking of apple cider. So we went to Chase's dad's house for New Year's because they're like, we got you a cake. And he's like, got like guilt tripped into going because he wanted to go camping.
And his birthday is the 1st.
His birthday is New Year's Eve.
Okay.
The 31st. So
That's
we're
a
like,
hard birthday to have.
I know. So I'm like, in our house, we don't celebrate New Year's Eve. We celebrate Chase's birthday.
Got it.
Because I'm like, he's like, no. I'm like, no, babe, it's your birthday. What the hell's happening?
Yeah, I feel bad for Christmas this time of year birthdays.
Yeah,
My
so-
sister's birthday is the 29th, and I always
Yeah.
felt bad for her because mine is like perfectly 6 months apart. And I'm like,
Mine's in May, so it's just like a great time.
Yeah, great time.
So I was like, well, I'm like, whatever. So we went there, and his niece comes in and she's like, guys, I got us kid wine. And I was like, they make kid wine? I'm like,
Sparkling cider.
yeah. And it was like in a little bottle like this, and she's like, I'm drinking from a bottle. Woo! And I'm like, our
this? How old is
children.
this?
She's like 8.
Oh, I love it.
She is so funny. I was dying.
And
Her
is
mom
this the
just sitting
LDS
there.
side?
No.
Okay.
No.
I would have laughed even harder.
Oh, I would have died.
They're like, yeah, you get it, girl. What are they teaching in Sunday school these days?
Some shit. I don't know.
Sunshine.
I know my mom's like, when Caroline's 18 months, we're going to start taking her to primary. And I'm like, you want to come pick her up? You can take her to church. I'm not going to bring her to you so you can take her to church. So if you want to come get her at the butt crack ass of dawn and take her, by all means.
That's like worth a whole other podcast episode. So remind me because
I know. Because I don't want to be like,
you don't want to go.
No, I don't wanna
Do you
go.
want her brought up in that church?
no.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that later.
And see,
Continue.
that's like a hard subject
Yeah.
too. Because my mom's like, well, what do you mean now? And I'm
Think
like,
about that one. We'll talk about it soon.
Oh, do you want me to write it on the board?
From a year ago, yeah.
Oh my God, look at that. We can go off that board now, but it's like just move it down one day because it's January, February.
We're thriving.
Wow.
Success.
I mean, no.
We're
But
finally
you
on
have
track.
you have like your paper calendar. You use that a lot.
I need
more.
a new one now
Yeah, you do.
because it's a new year.
It is.
Or
What?
we could try the digital calendar that I tried to set up that I don't think you ever logged into.
I did the team one. Yeah, I'm on that one.
I set it
Like,
up on
right
that.
there.
I set it up
Teams.
on that one because
Why is it?
it doesn't
to
matter.
load it?
But if
Okay.
like we did have guests like out of town, it would have been easy to just link up and record via. Anyways,
Yeah.
New Year's. So she's dancing around with a bottle.
It is so funny. They were on crack that night.
Well, that little champagne is like that sparkling cider is mostly sugar.
But not even that. Then
That's what my parents used to give us at the Leopardi Christmas. That's where we would always end the
like
holiday.
little bottles, and they're just so cute.
Well, they have the big bottles too. They look like actual alcohol. And
And when you pour them out, they look just like
yeah,
this.
all the kids would be at the kid table. Were you ever assigned to the kid table?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, ranging from like
I feel like you have a
infant
big
to
family.
oh, big family,
You
and
have to have a kid
not as big
table.
as your family by any means.
the Bell family.
Yeah,
We never really had kid tables at the Bell family.
we always drank
Trying to
and
think.
felt like the adults because of the.
I love drinking apple cider 'cause I'm like, oh, I feel so like, like you're just so like
Sophisticated.
spicy, and you're like, so I'm gonna get like a cute little glass to drink, and you're like, you don't know what I'm drinking. you're like, it's a champagne.
Well,
No.
I was laughing at myself because I was listening back to that recording when we were talking about things, what to give people,
Oh, I hate
being creative on Christmas, right?
Christmas gifts.
And I think we recorded that on like the 15th or whatever. It was like halfway through the month. And I felt like I was so ahead of the game. And then it's January 2nd today.
Mhm.
And I have still yet to mail the remaining Christmas cards to the people that required addresses. Like to the people I saw, I gave them all out, but I
I
didn't
get
mail
that.
any out. And
I
then
didn't mail mine out either, and I probably could have mailed a couple out, but I'm just.
I'm
like,
also
whatever.
horrible because my oldest son who is adopted, his birthday is January 30th. And so I was like waiting to mail his Christmas gift because I was like, oh, I'm just going to go buy his birthday gift, throw it in there because it's expensive to ship.
Oh yeah,
Especially to
like big gifts.
yeah,
like a big
especially to
box.
like rural places like Buffalo, Wyoming, Yeah.
That like the mail
It's
carrier
not
comes, like
even-
once a month.
Not even an address. It's a P.O. box, you know? Like, she's got to
That'll take a
drive
while.
like 13 miles to get to it or something silly. But I still have it on my front table up there. And my sister's gift to him is also included in that. So I just suck. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to compound it for birthday.
You got
get
until the
Christmas
30th.
late. Yeah. That's my deadline now. But
No, it's not the 30th because that's his birthday. So you want it before his birthday. You got at least a week in advance.
yeah, I should just.
So you got like at least 2 weeks.
Isn't it funny? Like this is exactly how I did the breakdown in my mind. Because I was like beating myself up over it. And then I was like, no, I got his birthday. It's going to be
Thank
fine.
God you have his birthday.
I know. But then like, I don't know. Just
Imagine
listening
if
back
you
to
didn't have
that.
his birthday. I just had Christmas. These damn Starbursts, they are so good.
They're juicy.
I think there's a water drop on them.
The pink ones are the best ones. But yeah.
It's watermelon or strawberry.
I was just laughing at myself because I was like, oh, I felt so ahead of the game. And then it turned out that I was so very far behind the game still because I had to share my son like I do every holiday. But he was with
Did you have him for Christmas Eve or Christmas?
his dad had him for Christmas Eve. So it was kind of weird. Like I was like flying solo. I was showing up to like family dinner solo on Christmas Eve. And I was like, wow, there's so much of me. What do I do with it? Like, what?
You're like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, I
have,
literally
like,
didn't. So I spent Christmas Eve with What's It, and we exchanged our presents, and that was fun. And I ate some mushrooms and watched Harry Potter,
I ate
the
some
fifth one
mushrooms.
where Twilight dies, and it was intense and it was lovely, and I slept very good on a velvet
Wait,
pillowcase.
What did you watch?
The fifth Harry Potter, where the guy who plays Edward Cullen dies.
Ow! I was like
Twilight.
because it was weird because you went like I watched Harry Potter where Twilight dies, and I was like,
In Allie Holt's world, I
What?
was on my own journey.
yeah, you were.
I was journeying, and I was a part of the Hogwarts community. I was in it.
yeah, you were.
I was in it, and it was intense, and it was lovely. And then I woke up, and it was hard though because like I had to bring like all my presents with me. Like I had garbage sacks with me.
Like your whole house.
Yeah,
Just like-
all the presents. Yeah, all the presents and everything. And so it was like just very disorganized, and everyone was kind of doing Christmas at other places. So I was like, I'm not running all around everywhere.
Mhm.
And pretext to what happened, my 2011 little Tia the Toyota, she's on her last legs, right? Like I need a new
she
battery.
Was, like, on her way out. As
Yeah,
it
I mean, like she's been rock solid for the last 6 years. I actually bought that car with my ex-husband, so in a weird way, like I feel like I'm very sentimental, and so I was like, she's gotten me through so much, but I've been thinking about getting a new car, and so I leave for the day, go pick up Elliot. That's all fine, and run back to the house, get some other stuff, and I'm on my way to Salt Lake. I'm like, I'm making 2 stops today. You know, like, do you want to see me like gather? Like,
is. I will be in this spot only for the time being from this set time to set time. You want to see me and Elliot? You get your ass there.
I am like such a slow paced snail of a person, and it's not even like it takes me forever to get ready. I'm not one of those people that needs makeup on my face. Like, I could go out looking
It's
like
everything
this right
you
now.
have to take with you.
It's my brain too. Like
Yeah.
I will forget what I'm doing halfway through doing it. And so I'm like, oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, you know, and,
Why
and
am I
it just
getting
it
ready?
just gives me
Oh.
anxiety, you know, being pressured to go places by a certain time. I'll get there when I get there. And so
Don't rush me.
I am actually ahead of schedule, and I'm like stoked, right?
You're like, life is finally going
Yes.
to plan.
Right. For the first time, I'm going to ring in this new year. I'm going to be the timely Leah party. I'm loving it. Me and Ellie are jamming to some good music. We're vibing. we get stuck behind an extremely long train on this super busy main street by my house, 12th Street. And I even call my friend and like have a whole conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be over later. Not even like thinking about anything except how great the day is. And
like you wouldn't normally think of that. Like,
Right.
why would you think of this?
Right. I'm having a great
Doesn't
Christmas.
happen.
Christmas Day is going fine. And then I make it to this stoplight and it turns green and I start to accelerate and I am like rammed, pushed forward into this intersection by this woman in a Jeep Cherokee. And I'm just kind of like stunned. I'm like, did that really fucking just happen? Like on Christmas? Like, I was like, fuck. So
You're like, the light was green. I was going. You didn't have to push me.
yeah, but turns out she didn't even brake at all. So,
No.
and this Jeep was
Is
like,
that my headphones? Do you hear that? Like, no, not like right now, but like you were talking, then like my headphones like cut out.
No.
Okay, so it's probably just my headphones. Okay, keep going.
Or
Sorry.
she's tripping.
I don't know.
It's a
Maybe
year of
it's not there.
psilocybin.
It's like
Like when I
go
talk.
on. Like or when I talk, it's just my headphones. But it's fine. Go on. Sorry.
So
Not bad.
we pull over and I'm cool as a cucumber. I'm like, okay. Because in the moment, you're like, I wasn't hit that hard. Your adrenaline's going.
You're like, it's just a nudge.
Yeah, I
A
was
little
like,
scratch.
this little Toyota's a tank. She's been through far worse. Like, it's just going to be a little dent. It's fine. I go to the back and it is just completely smashed into itself.
You have no trunk.
There was no
Your trunk disappeared.
There was no more bumper. And I just like started to cry and like an idiot, instead of calling the police, I call my mother.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm 27 and I called my mom before the cops. And
That's what everybody's in. Like, do you call the cops? Like, no, I
that's exactly what she said. She's like, you need to call the police right now and take a picture of this person's license plate. Because it was really weird. Like, they didn't get out to talk to me. They didn't get out to look at the damage of their own car. I finally get off the phone with my mom and walk up and knock on her window, and she cracks it about an inch open. And she's just like crying. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, did you call the police? She's like, no, I thought that's what you were doing. I'm like, okay, I'll call right now. And she like shoves out all of her like information. She's like, I have insurance. I have insurance. And I'm like, I'm sure you do, but I need a police report. And she was like, no, please don't call the police. And so I was like, oh, fuck. I'm in a situation.
I have to call the police.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
so,
there's bad enough damage where like I have to call the police.
yes.
If it was like a little dent or like a scratch or a bump and like whatever, insurance can take care of it. Do you not hear that? Is it just my headphones?
It's just your headphones.
Because like it's like cutting out. It is weird. But can you can hear me clearly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I'm sorry. It's just my
Maybe you just
headphones.
take them off.
I don't know. Then I like. I'm so used to wearing them now. It's weird to not wear them.
I know.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's fine. But it was just weird. So
You called the police.
Of course I called the
Okay.
police. And it was funny. My mom was like, I'm on my way. Because she's a superhero. And she ends up driving with my grandpa and grandpa's girlfriend. So I got like a fucking entourage on the side of the street.
Well, and to your mom doing insurance, I'm sure.
yeah,
she's
my mom works for State Farm.
Didn't know if we
So,
were supposed to say that or not.
well,
but-
I don't know. But she
I
knows her
I,
shit.
I didn't say which one. You said that. I just said where she worked.
She knows her shit. So she wanted to be there.
I mean, yeah, I would want my mom to be there if she was like that.
And so the police get there pretty quickly, and I'm freaking out because I can't find a physical insurance card. But I'm insured. Like, my insurance is active. So then I'm trying to pull up my Allstate app, but I can't remember the correct password. So I'm like in shock, and Elliot's in the back seat crying, not because we got in a car crash, but because we stopped in traffic and we were on our way to his favorite aunt's house.
Oh.
You know, and why are you stopping? We're never gonna get there. And I felt bad. I'm like, bro.
Poor kid's like distraught. He's like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, and so I finally get logged in, give them my insurance, and then they're like, oh, it's just kind of weird. They keep changing their story as to what happened. So then I start to kind of get defensive, and they're like, well, no, we're not saying that you did anything. She's obviously at fault. But unfortunately, we don't think that they're legal here in this country.
Oh,
Yeah. And so then that made me feel really bad because I'm like, damn, it's Christmas, man. And like, you got a fucking fender bender. And
well, don't text and drive.
well, I don't know what she was doing, but yeah. So my poor little car got totaled. Kind of threw a wrench into the Christmas plans, but I made it around and
For like, how long did you not have a car for?
well, I had my car, so my car could still
it didn't
operate.
Work.
But the shitty thing is after like 2 days, the already shitty battery kept dying because the trunk thought it was open. So the trunk light was killing my battery. And the ironic thing is my mom bought me a new fucking battery for Christmas. I'm like, well, you can return that, I guess. So, yeah, I'm at the mercy now of...
Your mom's like, here's a new battery. It'll last you a lifetime.
Yeah. And then, like, I ended up
car?
following her over to her house after it happened just to see, like, if it could drive and stuff. Because I had to drive down to Salt Lake, and my dad's like, well, don't drive. Like, if you have broken taillights, don't drive. I'm like, all right, we'll have to do Christmas another day. And he's like, well, I didn't mean today. I meant, like, tomorrow. Like, you're still going to come.
Naturally.
So, yeah, I ended up going, but it's been interesting because I was laughing with my coworkers Friday day. I went in for my Christmas lunch party, and they were doing a raffle, and they're like giving away big ticket items like Xboxes and TVs and sound bars and like laptops. And I'm like, oh, and
God.
battery chargers, portable battery chargers. And I was even laughing with them. I'm like, oh, Alicia, say Alicia. And finally my coworker turns to me. She's like, you don't have to wish so hard. They bought something for everyone. Like everyone in the plant. And it was a lot of people to go through. But I mean, like some of them were just like hats or glasses or whatever. Still cool. But I was like, oh, damn. You know, out of like 300 people, I think we got to like 292. And that's when they called my name. And it was Alicia Sandoval. We have a lot of Hispanic people who work in the manufacturing area. So,
like,
I mean, like, I got it. But, like,
I'm the whitest person you'll ever meet.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was good.
You're as pale as, like, the snow outside. And they're like,
I was one of those people that won a hat, and I like turned to my coworker and I'm like, you know, this is why I don't gamble, because even when I have a for sure shot of winning something, my name will surely be the last to pick in all the litter, and I'll probably get the least valued gift. And
you're like 5 away from being like the last person.
Yes.
What was like the last thing that they got that they gave away?
Well, one married couple works at the company, and like they're in different branches, but one got a laptop and one got an Xbox. And I was like, will you adopt me? Like,
you're like, can I get some of your luck?
What is luck? So
that's Caroline. I think Caroline got all of Chase's luck.
Now that I'm having to deal with insurance and the bullshit that goes with it, my mom's like, you know, just do your due diligence, because my back has been fucked up since.
Yeah, go to the chiropractor, tell your insurance, get that shit billed.
Yeah, so I made an appointment to go get like a overall just like well checkup, because I don't even have a general physician anymore. I haven't since Elliot's been born, especially living in Ogden, and the earliest they could get me in was like January 13th. So I made the fucking appointment.
Why don't you go to like Ogden Clinic?
Well, that's where it's at. It's through Ogden Clinic.
Go to Shelby Pitts and Ogden Clinic Skyline over by my grandma's house.
I'll have to look. I'll look it up.
Or like I called them and I got in like the same day, but I got that. Well, that was like for like a sinus infection.
Yeah, give me that info after. But I also like made a chiropractor appointment for tomorrow, and I'm just hoping like it's a quick little fix. I already have like nerve damage back there from my first labor, my first pregnancy.
Yeah, because like your epidural was like,
yeah, and
that was like a fucked up thing.
After they fucked it up, because it took 5 tries to try and get it in, and they tried to tell me it was because of my age because I was 17 and I was too little. There wasn't enough space between my vertebrae. But what happened is
They missed.
they had trainee fucking anesthetic and what are they called? Anesthetics?
Anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologists coming in and trying to fucking do this on me. And
I don't know they would try like on a 17-year-old. Like, this is my first kid. I'm 17. Like, what in the hell
well, I
are you doing?
don't know all the details, but they did have to finally go get the senior anesthesiologist, and he's the one that got it in. But after that pregnancy,
Those
my
aren't,
whole
those
left
aren't short
side.
needles either.
No, they're like fucking
I know. I didn't watch. I can.
5 inches long.
I mean, I guess I couldn't watch mine. I'm like, oh,
And
really
thick.
But ooh.
But my whole left side, like it feels like pins and needles, like when your
Mm-hmm.
foot is falling asleep, and I can't sleep. And so I'm just like, God forbid, like, but that would be my luck. That's why I brought up the raffle, because I'm like, all right, well, we're doing this. We're going into the new year with stride. And everyone's like, well, look at that. It's a blessing in disguise, Alicia. You're going to finally get a new car. I'm like, when?
You're like, do you know how long it took me to get my rental car?
For real. And then, you know,
But like, I don't know how it works. Like when your car gets totaled, like, do you have to pay out of pocket? Like, how much is your car even worth? Because then you got to
you
like
have to
pay
pay
off
your deductible.
the loan off,
Yeah,
your deductible,
so
and you got to buy a new car. So it's like,
If you're ever hit and run, or if someone is like, don't call the police, no matter how minor the incident is, always fucking do. Because you need a police report for your insurance to cover things, for one. But also, take a picture of the other person's license plate, because you don't know what could happen. My aunt and uncle had a shotgun pulled on them after a fender bender. For real. I'd never heard that story until my car accident. And then I show up to Carly's house on Christmas Day, drop off the gifts, literally had a 35-minute timer set on my phone, because I'm like, well, now I'm making stops and I'm in a rush. No matter what, I can't win.
I think your poor car, like,
Yeah.
oh God.
But she got they got hit, and then like her husband got out to talk to the other driver, and he was obviously high on something, and he pulled a fucking shotgun on him.
That's scary.
So yeah, I mean, stay cool, guys, stay cool, but just cover all your bases, because you never know what someone else is going through or what kind of crazy they're dealing with. I mean, that poor woman who hit me, like, I feel awful. I hope things are okay for them, even though she was at fault. You know what I mean? I don't want to ruin someone's life like that. But that's what I'm saying. You just never know. So, yeah. I'm driving a rental.
It's a nice rental.
It is a nice rental. They gave me a 2021 Toyota.
Like, do you want
Corolla.
a new one? And you're like, no, whatever my insurance will cover. And she's like, okay, well, let's give you a 2021.
Well, bro, so my tail end was so fucked up. I waited. Like, I brought it in for a couple estimations just on the damage, and they were like, this is totaled. You shouldn't be driving it. So I park it. It keeps dying. Finally, I'm like, okay.
It's totaled. I think after a couple of times of taking it to shops, they're like, oh, yeah, it's totaled. You're like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Luckily,
I'm fine.
Luckily, the lady was insured, because there were a couple days right after where they were like, we're not sure if her insurance was active. And I'm like, fuck. And that's where you're really in a pickle, because, like I said, your insurance has to cover all the bases. You got to pay that deductible. I mean, the
'Cause they're not
only
gonna pay out
nice
of pocket.
thing about this is used cars are going for left nut right now. So insurance has to offer you like fair market value, like what you would go out and buy for yourself.
Yeah.
So if a Corolla around the same year, same mileage is going or asking for 10 grand, which there are 147,000 miles, you guys, 10 grand people
Well,
are
I think
asking.
it's like, it depends on like what the car is too. If they hold their value, they're usually pretty good.
Yeah, and well, especially with Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, Subarus. But they have to, like, that kind of opens a period of negotiation. Like, they have to give you a fair price. So that's my only win right now, and I'm going with it. But to literally get into my trunk, because it looked like I was living in it.
Yeah, your freaking Snapchat. I was saying that and I laughed. I was like, oh my God.
You know, you forget how big these little sedan trunks can be or how much they
like
can
you
hold.
just kind of like just shove, like that's how I am. Like
Yeah.
half of Caroline's wardrobe was in the back of my car. And then I have like my lash bed and her stroller.
Yeah. And that takes up a lot of space. Well, I had like all the fishing gear, folding chairs, camp gear, a blow up mattress, baseball mitts, bats, frisbees, balls.
I know, yeah, like
summer,
a basketball.
Summer clothes, you know, a fuck ton of shoes.
Like, what were you going to do? Like, live out of it?
Well, you know, I always had it if I needed it.
It's winter.
No, but like in the summer, like when I'm out on the run all the time, like I always had what I needed. And so, yeah. I had to end up cutting out my back seat because the bumper was so broken you couldn't leverage the crowbar enough to pop open the lid. And me, being me, I'm thinking I could go out there and just like pop it open like a soda can. No. Pop it open, just like crisp.
You're like,
I don't
know.
No.
Come right out.
Then my neighbor drives up and he sees me in the back seat, like both legs up in the air, pressed against the seat, just trying to rip this sucker out. And he gets out and he's like, what you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to get to my trunk. And he's like, well, do you want some help? Because then this turned into a project for the both of us. And he's like, well, I have like one of those soldering knives. I'm like, I don't think we need to go that far. But he was able to bend the middle seat enough.
We don't need that burn.
I was able to wiggle in and like yank the wire because it's a faulty fucking design. Like if you're ever kidnapped and thrown into a trunk, don't anticipate getting out like sneakily. You know what I mean?
That thing shoots right up.
There was but there's like no latch to open the trunk door from the inside. And then the only latches to let the seats fold down are from the inside of the trunk. So I couldn't get to it.
I think it depends on the year because I think now they have like
I hope so. I hope so, but that was like 2011. You'd think they'd have it in 2011. Mm-mm. Jesus, anything after 1999, you would pray that they have something to let you out of a fucking trunk. Or God forbid.
They barely had phones in 2000. So.
But it was like the
Pagers.
Mary Poppins bags of trunk diving. Like my stepdad shows up to bring me to the rental car place, and he's just bringing in bags. Like he's throwing all this stuff in garbage bags and bags into my living room. And then he finally grabs me by the shoulder and he's like, I hope you learned something from this. Like, it's not that much. And then they go to bring me to the Enterprise place. Shocker, I forgot my ID.
You never have that thing. Ever.
And then I finally go back to the house and I'm like, oh my God.
Maybe that is a lot of shit.
This is a lot of shit. So, yeah, no, I'm just gonna, my New Year's resolution is to be more organized, to be more punctual, and to be healthier.
Yeah. As I'm eating a Starburst, it's fine. I had like Starburst, a Reese's, and then some jerky.
I love that.
Not in that combination. It was like Starburst, Reese's, jerky.
I ate a piece of toast this morning. Dry toast because I don't have butter. It's that time of year because my payday's on Thursday and my mortgage gets pulled out tomorrow. And again, I think I'll have like $200 in my bank account, which is better than last month. By like $50. So yes, loving this. But Elliot's like, he goes to have a Go-Gurt. And I'm like, no, these are expired by like 5 days because I'm weird about yogurt. It's already cultured, you know. I don't know. Some people are loosey-goosey with the expiration dates. They're more of a recommendation.
5 days, I think you're okay.
Yogurt, it's one of those things. Like milk, too.
I'm like,
dairy products.
Smell it.
Yeah, I don't.
Sometimes
but
milk
I can't
literally
smell
to
anything
the day.
still.
Yeah. I think you're okay. Go-Gurt, I think you're okay just because it's like in a little like sealed package and who knows how long they're going to sit on the shelf for. But milk, that shit, you smell it and it's like the day after the expiration date, you're like, dump that shit out.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So we virtually have nothing in the fridge, and that's how I got him to eat an apple as a snack. Because I'm like, well, we have this. Oh, what about chips? Nope, they're gone. What about goldfish? Nope, they're gone. Popcorn? No, they're gone.
You only got his apples.
The only thing we have in that fridge is apples and HelloFresh meals.
At least you have dinner.
I'm like, we're going to cook tonight, okay? Because, I just
But we went
still on a budget.
We went to Sam's Club. Bananas, $1.98 for a bushel.
For a bushel?
Yeah, not per pound. Because I do the Scan and Go app, and she's like per pound, and I was like, no, it was just like $1.
Dude, I
got
myself,
like really green ones.
I bought myself that carpet cleaner vacuum. My God, it is my new best friend because I have a demon for a dog.
Wow, she's almost one.
No, she is not. She's got like 6 more months to go. She's fucking evil, bro. And like, just cuter than shit. But like for example, today is my last day on winter break. And before I have to go back to reality, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Aren't we all?
And I Swiffered my floor. You know, I got all my laundry done, folded, and put away. That's a big deal for me. And I got this new carpet cleaner, and I'm like going across like at a snail's speed because it's like satisfying.
Did you do the one
for me.
upstairs?
To what?
Did you carpet clean your rug upstairs?
I didn't carpet clean the shag rug because that shag
I
is
only
so
think
long.
You can. It
Yeah,
looked like you vacuumed it. It looked nice little lines.
Yeah, the lines, they'll be gone in 5 seconds. But
you got a kid and a dog.
It's like satisfying for me to watch the carpet cleaner like suck up the nastiness from the carpet.
But like it's not all dog either.
Yeah, and then I take Janie for a 35-minute walk.
Damn.
To the park, let her run, throw the ball. We get back, wipe off her muddy paws, and I turn around and she's pissing on my clean floor.
She had a pee, but you didn't let her.
Again, that is no, I watched her pee twice. She like is a boy dog. She marks her shit and she humps everything. And I watched her take a it's like she's still a moderately, like not moderately, she's a medium-sized dog now, but she takes shits like nobody's business. They are like a big ass. They are like the equivalent size to a calf, like a moo cow calf shits. Not quite a cow patty, but like a baby cow poop.
Are they liquid like that?
Yes.
Girl, you need to get her on some like different dog food. They should not be runny.
I've switched it to the puppy brand. It's expensive at Petco that I can't think of, and it has a wolf on it.
Oh, Blue Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know. She's due for her next vet checkup. But again, going back to the raffle, this is my luck. Oh, you have a 3-step equation. It will immediately turn into a 12-step equation because it was assigned to me.
Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. Holidays, man. But I got to see lots of family that I haven't seen in a very long time. I had great food, great company, a lot of great sex. I was very spoiled.
I didn't.
Sex while you're sick is hard.
Weird. I'm like, I don't want to throw up on you. And then I literally slept.
You're like, bro, I already risked the chance of throwing up on you when you make me give you head. So, do you want to double that?
I know, poor Chase. I'm like, do you still love me? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, I get it.
Well, I also know you guys, and so I think that's jokingly. I hope, right?
As long as I give him some occasionally.
Dude, it's hard. Sex and marriage.
Oh.
Sex and marriage.
Well, what's hard is I have a stage 3 clinger.
So have you considered, like, since the holidays are over now, New Year, like, what is the word I'm thinking of? when weaning her off?
I've been thinking about this for a lot, but then she got sick. And all she wanted was me. And then I was like, but
Weaning her off the boob or your bed?
just the boob.
Yeah.
But we're going to try it where we're going to try giving her warm milk, like in a sippy cup, and then have Chase putting her to sleep.
That would be good.
And then I'll sleep somewhere else. Because usually when I'm around, she's like, meh. But like, if
Have
it's just like her and
crib
someone
out of
else,
storage?
no. If anything, we'll just have her sleep in her own bed, like on the floor. But then I'm going to see if my mom can start taking her to like overnights with my mom.
That would be good. Maybe we should go to a ceremony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a rose ceremony. I want to go to that one girl. I want to try a rose ceremony.
Rose ceremony would be cool.
That would be cool. I don't know if I can afford it. Can you afford it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. We'll have to, I mean, like maybe if we bought our own stuff. I don't know if you're ready for it, though.
Probably not.
A rose ceremony would be different, though. That's not psychotropic whatsoever.
I would do that. I would have to do something like psychotropic with Chase.
He should do it. I think it would help him with his anxiety.
Yeah. And his anger management. It's not bad. It's just like when something goes wrong, like he can't control. He hates it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Caroline chokes, it like freaks him out, so he gets mad.
Well, yeah, because it's like that secondary emotion of anger is almost easier than admitting that you just got scared the wits out of, right?
Yeah, so we were eating, like I made homemade fries last night. I've been killing it in this like food making the last like 2 days. I just
The last 2 days.
The last like 3 days, right? I made like steak homemade fries last night. I made like a full on like this breakfast burrito. You couldn't even fold it all the way. It was so stuffed with shit. It was really good. Anyways, so she was eating a fry, and I think she gets like too excited when she eats, so she just like chews and swallows. Yep. Well, potatoes are kind of thick, right?
Yeah, me and her have that in common.
Yeah, so she was swallowing it, and she'll gag really hard, and then she'll kind of like throw it up. And that's like how she's always, she doesn't choke. And Chase was like, "God damn it!" He's like, "I'm gonna slap you across the room," and like she spits, so he like whips it off her face, and he's like, "You're done with fries. You're eating liquids from now on." He's like, "You ain't choking anymore." I'm like,
that was my father.
Like,
father.
Just take a minute.
I know. I think but I also think like it will.
It's more
help
like
mostly with allowing him to open up a little bit.
I'll talk to him about it. He'd probably be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Until it happens.
And then until that came over gone, be like, "Wait, that's tonight?" Be like, "Hey, babe, it's on the calendar for like 3 months."
So just for shits and giggles, I went back and listened to our very first podcast episode with Brett. Brett Buffshay.
Was it horrible?
I mean, it's pretty grainy.
Because it is like, and it's scripted. You remember when you would script it?
Well, it was more like I was trying to do prompters, but then anything funny that I thought was funny that would run through my head, I'd have to write it down. And then it was like run on paragraphs. So
I remember do you remember like the first episode we did with Corey?
When we were a bitch, a blonde, and a hippie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would like literally have it written out like a goddamn script. Like, you're reading this, and this.
I think because you and I have talked a lot about the direction of the show, right? And I was even thinking about that this morning. I was like, well, I feel like I'm very much half in the sense that as far as production goes, because I would have loved to do like a bloopers episode of some of our funniest moments, pulling from all the episodes we've ever done and making it one. I'm like, that would take me
forever,
weeks. Too, because
and it's hard because you have a full-time job. Like, this isn't your full-time job. If this is your full-time job and you were half, and I'd be like, dude, what the hell are we doing?
We would be awesome.
But this is more like kind of like a hobby for us. Like, it's just fun to like.
Right. But
what is it?
We were talking about like growth. And I was like, well, that would have to be something that we really sat down and like looked at this together. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, I think that's where I very much was. I was floundering because I didn't know what direction I wanted to take the show in. I didn't know if I wanted to like read like news, like current events. I didn't
Because
know
you did
if I
that
wanted
for
to.
a minute.
Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to like include like shit that was going on in the world. And I like how we've kind of segmented off and have specified
just
certain
kinda like-
episodes to our research episodes.
Yeah.
But we also can come back and be silly and bullshit. And I think now, like where we have something that's good, like this pretty little crystal, it's just something that we both need to like rub a little bit and give a little attention to.
Okay.
Kind of like a clitoris. How's that clitoris of yours?
There's probably some spider webs down
Yeah,
there.
it needs a little attention. So once you have
Again,
a
stage
groundbreaking
3
orgasm, do it in the shower.
We've had to, but it's hard now because she screams every time we're both in the shower. So she'll sit
and
there
she's
and
mobile.
she'll like rip the shower curtain and stand there and oh my gosh. So she was in the bath. I stick her in the bath when I'm like, I have to like wash my hair. I'm like, I'll have her in the shower with me. And I'm like, Kay, just stay here, you're fine. Then I'll put the bath on and I'll like fill it up. Not like a ton of water, but just like a little water and I'll save her in there and I'll get ready. It's a lot easier than whatever. And she was sitting there
she's
like
preoccupied. We've all done that.
Yeah. She was sitting there and like her hands were down.
You said this a couple
And she was like,
episodes ago.
it was a couple days ago. This was like, when did I wash my
she's
hair?
progressing.
Oh yeah, she was like
Oh, yeah.
grunting, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Are you pooping?" And she's staring at me in the eyes like this, and her hands are down. I'm like, "Girl, you are playing with your damn self."
Hey.
I'm like, but then I'm like, you know what? By all means,
There's
boys
something
do
about
it. I'm
there's
like, why
something
can't-
about the water.
I'm like, don't look at me when you do it. At least like turn your head.
I had a nice little moment where on Christmas, Elliot and I went to stay the night at my friend's, and he ended up falling asleep too. And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go sit in your hot tub." And it's like 11:30, and I'm like,
He's asleep.
"Yeah, he was asleep." And I was like,
Poor guy.
"Well, I'm lonely." So I call like all these people up. My aunt didn't answer, my mom didn't answer, and my sister answers. And I ended up being on the phone in the hot tub for an hour and 50 minutes. All right, never been in that. It's also champagne, so I've never been in a hot tub that long. And then at the very end, after I ended the call with her, I'm like, "Well, I haven't had the bubbles on this whole time. What a waste." Hello. I look around. I'm like, "Are there any cameras back here?"
Oh my God.
Sometimes you just got to have a moment with yourself.
It's the water. It's nice. And warm.
Yes, be in tune with that body of yours. How often, because we are so lost and wrapped up in our minds, right? Like, how often do you sit down? And this is why the power of plant medicine is so incredible, because you can sit within yourself and literally like feel your face, like as if you were a blind person, or just like your body or your hands, or like even looking at your hands and be like, "Dude, this is like the vessel I am in. This is my body. I own this.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing to it?" Or like whatever you're going through. And that's something that I've also been trying to focus on too, is like really becoming connected with myself. Because I tell you, if you guys didn't listen to that 2-part episode with Allie Holt,
That was a good one.
it gave me so much closure.
You stop yelling at candles.
I have, yeah. So I've really listened to her, but I've also felt like that really big portion of sorrow, that sorrowful, heavy grief, just kind of fade away.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you believe in mediums or not, like whether it was real or not, just hearing someone who's connected in that way be like, "Hey, he's okay," then I feel a little more at ease and comfortable being like, I'm okay to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think, I don't know, it was a really crazy shift in the last 2 weeks, even though there have been a lot of crazy things happening. I've never been more excited and ready for New Year. And my partner, he likes to fall asleep early. So again, on New
Poor
Year's,
guy's tired.
yeah, I mean, he works hard. Like,
Gets up early.
we ended up on New Year's Eve, like just we had no plans because he's like, I don't really want to go out to a rave. We have one in a couple weeks. And I was like, well, like, let's just get together and like, we'll find something to do. We always do. And it ended up panning out perfectly. You know, like we found a candlelit dinner at a bar in Salt Lake. Really great food. They got us in immediately. They were even like, do you have a reservation? We're like, no. And they're like, oh, well, no problem. We'll get you right back. And it was great. And then
That's good. Oh, candle. I love that candle.
we got lost in Salt Lake and just walked around and talked about life and went home. And I struggled finding the ball dropping on YouTube because I don't have cable. So I missed it. But I made my own little ceremony because he fell asleep, and I lit a bunch of candles, and I pulled my tarot cards for the new year, and I was just basically like, what do I need to learn? What do I need to pay closer attention to? And like, what do I need to do more of? And right at midnight, you know, I pulled my cards, and I was just like, yeah, like I'm fucking finally listening. I hear you. I agree. And whatever comes, and that's okay. Like I guess I'm ready for it. So I just feel like I've kind of put my best foot forward. And I know for me, like I've talked about that many times because my depression comes in waves in and out. But right now I'm just really looking forward to a good and healthy, positive year. And don't look at the big picture. Focus on the minute by minute. You know, if you're doing something differently than you were last year, that's a win. So, Happy New Year's, bitch.
Happy New Year's.
This will be our best year yet.
Still don't like
And I got my furry New Year's Eve jacket from Ross for $12. So, I felt like a high class bitch in this in a dark and moody bar on New Year's Eve.
I love that.
And tights and a leather skirt. It was good.
Kill it. You were killing it.
Did you guys end up going camping?
No, we went to his dad's because it's his birthday, and he had a cake. So that was fun. We just kind of just hung out in the shop and played cards and drank, and
Good.
it was fun.
Good. Well, is he 28 or 27?
29.
29?
He's 29.
He's older than you?
Yeah, he's about just like a year.
I didn't know that.
So we're 27, so he's 29.
Huh.
I know his stepsister's boyfriend was like, what are you, 23, 24? And we're like, 29.
Damn.
And he's like, oh my God, it look like a day over 12. It's
We're
fine.
on the precipice of 30. And
Dude, I cannot wait. We're going to do a third. Like, we're going to go all out. Like, we're black. It's going to be like,
we're going to have to do another photo shoot.
We're going to be like, everyone wear black. It's going to be fucking amazing.
Can we combine a birthday party? Because
Yes, we
I get
can.
so lost in myself that I'm the worst best friend, and I didn't wish Sarah a happy birthday last year.
But it's fine. And Anna, we'll have to see if we can, I don't know, we'll have to, because Anna's birthday's the 19th.
I don't know. I've been trying to talk my mother into planning a surprise birthday party.
I tried.
I've been dropping hints.
I tried last year. But that was when you and your SO were like on the outs. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And you were out of town for your birthday. Because I was like, when? I'm like, she goes out of town. And he's like, she does. I'm like, you idiot. Didn't even know she was going out of town? What the hell kind of boyfriend are you? Because I messaged him and I was like, so she's going to be out of town this day, but let's do a surprise party this day. And he's like, she's going out of town. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's so funny the morning of
So I tried.
New Year's.
Can I count that as a try? And like, I'm the awesome best friend that I am because
Yes,
I
you
was
are.
trying to give
Yes,
you a
you are.
freaking surprise
Yes,
birthday party.
You are.
But I didn't pan out because you went to fucking Mexico. And then you didn't even come home when you were supposed to come
Thank
home.
God I didn't die in Mexico. Man, this story could have ended totally different.
We wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I know. Watch the podcast blow up after I die.
Oh my God, stop.
Kidding.
It would.
Kidding.
It would.
But
I'd have to keep on by myself. I'd
Last-
be like, what the hell do I do?
well, when I die, I leave you all of our recording possessions. Hopefully you get better lights when you do it.
I just hope I do it.
I hope you do it too. You can't
Okay,
let
well,
Hard Talks die.
no. You're not dying anytime soon.
Okay, well, last thought,
So we're fine.
because you brought that up, right?
God.
So me and Guy are rolling around in bed, you know, laughing, tickling each other, having fun.
Tickling.
New Year's Eve
Tickle,
or
tickle.
New Year's morning, which is more like 11 a.m. But
Afternoon.
he makes a comment and he's like, "Oh, my lady deserves nothing but the best. Like, I'll treat you. We'll travel because he's got all these big trips coming up this year." And
Are you invited?
yes, but that's a conversation for off the air.
Okay.
But I was like, "So, do you think you'll be able to call me your girlfriend in 2023?"
Right?
We could go into the new year with some serious clarity. And he just like dies laughing. And he's like, "I thought we were already there." I'm like, "Oh my God. No, these are conversations that must be had." So
Are you guys official now?
I just don't like that word.
So that's why we always call him your SO.
Basically.
It's easier.
I'll tell you the rest
I
out
just
there.
feel like we're too old.
I am too
to like
old.
have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, no, like I don't like.
Yeah,
it's just
now
too,
you know
like,
my complex,
It's just
Sarah.
too like you're like in your 20s. You have a boyfriend.
Yeah, no, but I had
we're
to let that die.
27 and we have kids.
I know.
It's like
I had to let that die because, you know, I thought that's where I was going to be when I was married, and that's just not what's intended for me. So, you know, I'm just going with the flow, and like I'm just stoked to be like jokingly having these conversations because like
at the same time it's fun to have them because you're like, well, I need to know.
yeah. And then I restarted Stupid Sidebar, Malcolm in the Middle on Hulu.
Okay,
The
I see
greatest
it.
part of my childhood. But how they make it work in that show is he's like, anytime we fight, you have to tell me 7 things you love about me, and I have to believe them. And I seriously love that so much. I'm going to stand by it. And anytime we have a disagreement, if one of us isn't naked already, I'm going to have you listed off. Sorry.
I get it, and you have to believe it.
It's not going to be half-assed. I got to believe it. But
It's got to be good shit, not like, oh, your eyes and your boobs. Like, no, I want some real deep motherfucking shit.
right. And then like moving into this new year too, like there's a lot going on with my kid and him, and big conversations have been had. And so I don't know. I'm excited for my life and where it's
2023
going.
will be good.
It's going to be a good year,
We'll be
you
good.
guys.
We'll be fine.
Wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, we hope that you had good holidays, however you celebrated, and you hope, or we hope you know you. Wow,
I don't even know where you're going with that.
we love you. That's all.
I can't help you with that
It's the
one.
champagne. I drink it all for Shara and I,
I have to drive home.
and that's our show.
That is. We're ending on a good note.
On a good note.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah. If you want to give us a like and follow, you can do so on Instagram at Hard Talks with B&H. You should also jump on Apple Podcast. Maybe you should do the end credits, Sarah.
You can also, if you want to show us some love on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you can like and leave a comment. We love to hear back from you. And I guess, are we still on Twitter?
Yeah, we're on Twitter at Hard
Hard
Talks
Talks
with
with
B1.
B1.
Yeah. It's
all right.
mostly reposted shit from our Instagram page because I can automatically post it.
It's just Twitter. Like, what? I don't get Twitter.
I don't like
That was like
Twitter.
a 2000 thing.
No,
People
I
still
feel
do
like
it, so I
a
don't know.
geriatric fuck when it comes
But like that's
to
like
Twitter.
we're like we're in that generation where it's like we've had MySpace.
We
we've
were
had
like end of
Facebook.
MySpace, end of Twitter.
It's like
don't know.
it's weird. Like I don't know where we're at.
That's where we're at.
Exactly.
But until next week, you guys, let us know what those resolutions are. You can email us at hardtalkswithbnh@gmail.com.
.com.
And stay chipper.
Bye.
Bye.